What's up, y'all? So my name is Lala. Today we are going to do a craft. Don't mind the crazy hair. I just got out the shower and I was like, you know what, let me make a video, let me get into creating. So I've been trying to do these shoes for the last 2 years, and I'll be honest, they're tedious, but they're gonna be amazing. All right, y'all, they're gonna be cute. Like, I don't know if you can see the little bedazzle on it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. Okay, so what you're gonna need is your shoe or whatever item you want to use. I actually only bought these shoes. I love them, but I wanted to see if I can add rhinestones to it. So you're gonna need your item, your shoe. You are going to need a glue. So you're gonna need your liquid fusion heavy duty clear glue, tweezers, or I don't know what these are called, but it's like to grab your rhinestones. And then you're going to need 91% alcohol with a rag and sanding paper. A sanding sponge will work better, but a sanding paper would do fine. And then this little bottle, I believe it came with a glue and a little tip. So you will need this to apply the glue. And of course your rhinestones, whatever color you want. These, I like to use the flat heads so that way they're easier to add on. And yeah, let's get right into it. So the first thing I like to do is, of course, set the mood. I got my tea up in here. I'm gonna go put my candle on and put a movie, and then we're gonna get started. Whether you're bedazzling shoes or tumblers, it's the same process. So it's very easy, it's just super tedious. So the first thing you want to do before adding the rhinestones is prep. And you're going to prep that using a sanding sponge and alcohol. I use 91% alcohol. So you're going to sand. You can use a sanding paper or a sanding sponge. I just got this from Dollar Tree. And we're going to start with the black, and then we'll do the red later. So first, I'm just going to lightly sand it. Just like that. And then you're going to use a rag and alcohol, or you can just use an alcohol pad, whichever you prefer. I just have alcohol, and then I'm just going to use my rag. I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol and wipe it down of what we just sanded. You could prep the whole shoe, but I like to do one piece at a time just to make sure I don't get any of my oils onto the shoe. Right. Now we're gonna get our heavy duty glue. I like to use liquid fusion, but you can also use E6000. And I'm not sure if this came with it, but it's like a little just a little bottle to pour it onto here. And then I have my rhinestones. These are from Bedazzled, and it came with this. I'm not sure exactly what this pencil is for, and it came with the tweezers. So this is really all you need to add the rhinestones. This tool is extra, so I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's pretty easy to pick up the rhinestones and place it onto here. So what I like to do is I like to have different sizes of rhinestones, and I just eyeball to see like which ones to put out. You can use one size if you want, but I like to have a variety just to mix it up a bit. It comes with, this is the SS6 through SS20. These are perfect. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm going to show you how I place the rhinestones. You can decide on which direction you want to go. I think I'm going to start with the check mark and then work my way out. So you want to place the glue, not too much, just a little bit at a time, and then you can start adding more to it. Now I'm going to use this handy dandy tool, and as you can see, this little corner, it looks like I can only fit like a tiny a tiny rhinestone, so I'm just going to tap and place it onto here, and then I like to use this point to move it around. So I just eyeball it to see which rhinestone will fit, and then I kind of go that way. It's honestly like kind of playing like Tetris. You're just going to place the rhinestones and see which ones fit. And you can move them around. You have to move it around before the glue dries. Once the glue is dried, they're stuck on there. So I'm just going to place these rhinestones and make sure they fit nicely simply by eyeballing it. Again, this project is really easy. It's just very tedious because you're dealing with a lot of rhinestones depending on your shoe size and which shoe you're working with. You can also do this on tumblers. So like if you have a Yeti or a Stanley, this is perfect as well. You can do the same. You would do the same method. Sometimes if it doesn't like want to stick, we can also use the tweezers. So you can also use these tweezers to grab your rhinestones. Again, you can decide on which one feels most comfortable for you. Just going to repeat this process till you have all your rhinestones in there. So now that I covered most of it already, what I'm going to do next is add more glue. Repeat the process. I like to do a little bit at a time because it does dry quickly. So you want to work fast and then just work a little at a time. You don't want to put way too much glue and for it to dry. Sometimes I like to work on the edges and then go in on the inside. And I just have to play around to see what fits and like move rhinestones around. Now that I'm done with that spot, I'm going to grab more glue. We repeat the process. So I'm going to add a little bit onto here and work that and then keep going with it until it's complete. So here is the finished product. Look how sparkly that looks. This is about 4,000 crystals, so it definitely took a long time, but I think it's worth it. This is before. I still have to finish that one. I will do that next and after. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like it, hit the subscribe button, comment below what you think, or if there's other projects that you want me to do next. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.